What up? What up? What up? What up?
What's
What up,
up?
peeps? What up, peeps?
Ew.
How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing today?
Ugh.
Pull
Oh
this
my
one out just
God.
for all the haters out there. I'm sure y'all can hear the crinkling.
Jamie's jealous right now.
Oh, wow. We got pink filling, too.
So is that like red dye
Wow.
40 and red orange 30 or
Listen,
something?
we're celebrating the last of this right here. You know?
Is that's why you bought it? All right.
Uh-huh. Ain't nothing like a peep, man.
Does it taste good at least?
I'll be honest with you. It's like a mild version of like a Garbage Pail Kid, but like marshmallowy.
Wait, Garbage Pail Pig came in candy form?
Sour Patch Kids, my bad.
Oh yeah, sorry. I was like, wait, what?
It's actually so good. I'm gonna have another one.
Didn't they have Scratch and Stiff Garbage Pail Kid cars?
These bad boys, bro. Straight pink. Look at that.
Yeah, man. They Yep. That's gonna run right through you.
I had to get it out now because it's 9 o'clock. I'm like done with eating and stuff, so I gotta do this for the pod. It's all for the pod.
Now, would you break a fast with a watermelon piece? Would that be a good idea, or would that be a bad idea?
I think that'd be a good idea.
Okay, that might,
True
flush the fast down the toilet if you did that real fast. Like, yeah, not a lot of people know that. If you do fast, what you break your fast with is very, very important.
Yep, have avocados. Probably my favorite go-to.
I know dudes that will be like, yeah, man, I have my one buddy, but he's losing weight. He's probably not listening to it, so I won't get into a woodland situation he does with his friends. But he's like, yeah, man, I get done my fast, and then I go get some Wawa chocolate milk, and I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna say shit because the dude's losing some weight. He's down 60 pounds.
That's huge.
What he's really doing is restricting his calories, not fasting. But I'm not going to break the news to him. So
I think I know who you're talking about.
No, you've never met this guy. But
okay.
But it could be. I haven't done a lot of fasting. I've done a little bit, but I've watched a lot of videos on it, and and the one guy will go through like what you can eat during a fast, or you can't eat anything, but what you can drink because that could affect it too. And I'm like, bro, chocolate milk is not the best thing to go.
You don't want to jump back into dairy right afterwards at all.
And then I said to him, I was like, you might want to limit the chocolate milk a little bit. You talk about acid reflux. He's like, yeah, well, it's better because I take Hershey syrup and I pour it in the milk, and I used to do that, and now I'm like, okay, you know what? You're doing a good job. And
some people just got to give them credit where it's due. Listen, if you're down 60, you're doing something right.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I said, you know what? Good for you, man. You're down 60. So keep it going.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. What's going on, y'all? Got a pretty decent start tonight. How's everybody doing? Godfrey, tell me about your week, man. People want to know, what was the Godfrey up to this week?
I can't even remember. No, wait. I played disc golf.
This is becoming a recurring thing.
Yeah, it's getting nicer out.
Okay.
That was Friday though, and then I kind of did. I just
we linked Friday.
We did. That was before that.
Oh, you want to get disc golfing during the day?
Yeah. So that's why I cut my round short. That's when I was like, when we were meeting up, I was like, I'm early. I cut my round short to get here, and I was like, these fools aren't even here yet. I was like, what,
bro? I didn't even know it was Friday until.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what I did Friday. I had to remind Woodland that it was Friday and not Thursday. And somehow a monthly dinner we do only on Fridays, he thought it was Thursday for the dinner.
It was so bad.
I don't even know. He skipped a whole month in a day. Like I was just like, okay.
It was so bad. I literally did not find out until Friday at, I want to say it was like 6 o'clock, 6:30 or something like that. That was actually Friday.
Chris, I play public. I play a public disc golf course. I'll do a private because usually what I've noticed when it's private, it's because they're trying to make some money on it, but make it to upkeep it, meaning it's not upkeep by the township or whatever. So I will do public 99% of the time. It's, because where my brother lives has one of the best in the country, actually, in New Jersey. And in Philly, one of the oldest, Sedgley, in the country is around. So the one in Jersey is a little bit nicer. But yeah, disc golf. Yeah. I hear a lot, this person goes, disc golf is the bane of any real golfer's existence. They litter our golf course with metal poles with chains. That may be true. Also, I noticed that disc golf is quickly becoming the bane of any wife's existence because I hear a lot of wives say, yeah, man, that's all my husband does. I'm like, oh, word? I've heard that
a secret lifestyle going.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I've heard it like 5 times, but yeah, I did that. You know, did some shopping, some organizing around the house. You know, I went to
Do anything for Easter?
I didn't really do anything for Easter, you know. I just kind of chilled out. I feel like Saturday's a blank to me, and I don't even remember what I did Saturday. Like it's just like completely a hole in my brain right now. But Saturday, where did I go? It's gonna come to me later. Whatever. But I didn't really do a whole lot on the. I watched WrestleMania Saturday night. Duh. So I went to my buddy's house. That was the same buddy I was talking to about, you know, his chocolate milk habits, and we were all laughing because, you know, we knew it wasn't true. So, but the thing is, yeah, we went there, watched it. It was pretty cool. Had a pretty good time watching WrestleMania with some friends. We usually get together every year, so he didn't send the thumbnail stuff either. That's true. But it's all right. We had a backup in the wings that was actually able to come in and save the day.
Yeah, it's much appreciated for sure.
Description was on point though, with the assistance of a Gemini, you know, AI. So that's for sure. But yeah, no, guilty as charged, Eddie. Guilty as charged.
That's all right. Not every day you can be on point, Godfrey. Most of the time you're like a pencil. So we're
good. Yeah. I hear you. What about you? Did you do anything for Easter? Did you go on any Easter egg hunts?
No, I went over my sister's fiance got a restaurant, so I went over, had some brunch there in the afternoon, which was kind of cool. Went over. I mean, you know me, dude. I'm pretty much home all the time when I can be, but I went over to a friend's house, had some dinner there, and then shit, didn't realize Friday was Friday. I went up with Aaron to go see Brian. We'll be popping up on the No Direction podcast with those two guys. We had a pretty cool time taping that. That was on Friday. Then I went out with you guys on Friday night. Caught a bunch of heat for not remembering that it was Friday night. I literally got back to my house, and one of my boys was sitting at the crib on the front porch drinking beer. And I'm like, what on earth is Shaw doing here right now? And he's like, what's up, man? Where's everybody at? I'm like, oh shit, it's Friday. It's the worst moment ever for me, bro. But you know, outside of that, man, weekend went good. I ate good. Threw half of my fasting out the window because I've just been kind of getting down what I got one of them big bags of freaking Jelly Bellies from Costco, man. I've just been grabbing handfuls at a time, being a savage, trying to hold on to the last of the artificial flavors before we get rid of them in 2028 or whatever it is that we're doing. But
speaking of Jelly Bellies, hold on, I gotta
tell you what, man, I jumped my Jelly Belly right into the ice bath today.
I bought this. People have been trying to get me to eat this on camera, but I don't know if you guys can see this or not.
Yeah, dog. Bean Boozled is the shit, bro.
Yeah, they got flavors on here. Like, listen to these flavors. Burnt rubber.
Bean Boozled is great.
Right? But dead fish. Liver and onions.
Yeah, it tastes just like it. So,
old bandage.
Oh, that was probably the worst one I ever heard, bro.
Booger. Stink bug.
Ew. Right? Yeah, stink bug now?
Yeah, they got wet dog.
Nah, wet Band-Aid is probably the worst.
Stinky socks.
Wet Band-Aid has to be the worst taste ever. It's like eating a pool Band-Aid accidentally.
Barf. And they got good ones too, but yeah, man, that's the game right there, man.
Barf's pretty bad. Barf's one of those ones that's pretty bad. I had barf before.
So you spin it, and then like if you land on one, you gotta eat that one. You know what I mean?
You never played Bean Boozled before, bro?
I haven't. I saw it at Five Below.
What's that, like the 7th edition is that on there or something like that?
7th edition, yeah.
Yeah, they got a bunch of different ones, dude. They got like cut grass and I mean throw up makes.
What do you think about coming out with a cut grass bio bar?
There's like a raw egg one.
Fresh cut grass bio bar.
I'm thinking about I want to come out like a prankster bar. Like rotten fish or something like that, and you just drop it in one of your enemy's cars.
The best prank to ever play on someone, like if you have a relative you don't like or an in-law, is get them a candle that looks like it's apple cinnamon, but really when they set it off, it's fart. And then their whole house, they're like running through like, what stinks? What's going on in here? You know, the thing is you're going to have to inconspicuously check in because you're going to want to hear the reaction if you're not around. But yo, man, how's things been going? You know, like you're just hoping they fess up the experience to you because you might not have been around for it. So ideally, if you could do it to like, you know, wife or a partner or whoever, you know, that's probably ideal, or a roommate or something like that. But yeah, the fart prank candles are pretty wicked. So
chat's on fire, cooking Godfrey tonight. I love to see this. Thanks for the support, everybody. It's always one of my favorite things that happens. Either Godfrey or me getting cooked always makes my evening go a little bit faster. So
just deserting the booth in classic fashion.
Godfrey, you're gonna have to glue your feet to the booth this year at SEMA and not leave all week just so that nobody can talk junk anymore.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll see. Or I could just accept that fate, but we'll be all right. Yeah. We were right near the bathroom, you know what I mean? That was good. Where are we gonna be this year? Who knows? But we will be there.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun time. So, all right, man. Without any further ado, why don't you introduce our guest and bring our special guest of the evening in?
Oop, I didn't mean to do that. That was the doorbell. Got to let her in. So hold on. We got to get things ready here. Just kidding. So yeah, this is we're gonna bring her in right now. What's up, Carla?
What up, Miss Carla?
Welcome. So yeah, this is wow, we got Carla to laugh. The funny thing about Carla is I was talking last night with her, and I've got to notice about her, and she does not understand the language of sarcasm. So you hit her with a joke, and she'll be like crickets. She'll be like, she's looking and be like, "What the hell just happened?" Like, and she just laughed. Actually, we actually got her to laugh. So like, we're off to a great start right here. I was surprised that actually happened because she's usually stoic. She's like, "What was that joke about? I don't understand." I'm like, "All right, I guess she didn't get that one." So
you're a smiling stoic.
Yeah, it's like this. 5 seconds of awkwardness, and then she realized she's like, "Oh, hey."
So, Carla, if it makes you feel any better, I had that awkward silence with him all the time too.
Okay.
Most of the time, I'm not even able to bite my tongue. I'm just like, Godfrey, you're a savage. Why would you say that in public? But
listen, Wilden has plenty of savage moments. He just doesn't see it. I'm gonna have to start documenting these things. But yeah, I want to review this footage with you after the moment. But yeah, I just wanted to share your savage moment that you're not registering. So they do great things with cameras these days. That's all I'm gonna say.
I know. It's bad enough we're locking ourselves in here every week saying things that we probably are gonna regret 5 years from now. But
yep. Well, no regrets. But yeah, Carla, I met her on the beautiful TikTok there, and we connected. I forget how we connected, but somehow we connected on TikTok, and we started talking. As I've met a lot of my detailing buddies and friends and people who supported our bio bombs there. And I got to know her, and I thought she had a pretty unique story. So I was like, let's have her in on the pod. Let's see what it's about. See what she's about. Everybody's got their kind of unique background, where they came from, who they are, what made them who they are, their journey that they're on, especially in the detail world. The more and more I learn people in this space, the more and more I learn how vast and diverse it actually is, and how far the corners reach from where people come from. And, and Karla's a great example of that. I mean, it's any space really, you can, I mean, like even Eddie, I met him, he's in Idaho, and little do I know this dude shares the same love I have for shoe fly pie. Right. So I'm just saying, you never know. I'll bring some to you, Eddie. Don't worry. Shoe fly pie to SEMA. I'm guaranteeing. I'm gonna
get one off the streets and
I'm gonna have a shoe fly pie hand delivered.
Suits with the 3-piece suit on, the nice plaid socks or whatever. It's out there on the streets flipping them. Those are the ones you got to buy, man.
Yeah, I might have depending on how well BioBombs is doing, maybe I'll bring out an Ezekiel to actually bring the shoe fly pie. So we'll see how that works. But
custom make that bad boy for you.
Yeah. Oh, an ICT, yeah, for sure. Shoe fly pie is, you don't know about it unless you're from around here. That's all I could say. It's simple, but it's good. That's you just can't beat it. So it's a Pennsylvania Dutch thing. But anyway,
Carla, you ever have any shoe fly pie before?
No,
she definitely didn't.
Yeah. Are you a pie girl? What kind of pie do you like? If I were to give you any pie you want, no pie.
Person, no.
Okay. Okay.
She likes fruit in her sushi, though. I do know that.
Okay.
Yeah. Paradise sushi. I went out to dinner with her and her sister, and they
don't bring up the banana sushi.
Listen, this thing had, her sister's like, "Ew, that has banana in it." I'm like, "Banana? It's a sushi roll." So I took a bite of it. I was like, "Oh, that's banana in the sushi roll," and she was like, loving it though. Loving it. That was her thing.
I want to know more about it. What else was it besides banana?
It had crab roll. It's basically crab, banana. It has I forget the name of this sauce, and it's just rolled in steam wrap.
I never ever had banana sushi before, and I love sushi, so I'm kind of
It's fried
jealous.
banana. It's pretty good.
Okay, almost like plantainish.
Was it bad? I don't think it was bad.
No, is it like a fried plantain almost?
No. It's banana.
It's banana?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. I'm down to try it.
Yeah.
Let me get invited to dinner next time, y'all.
You see?
I got respect for you. That sounds nasty as F. Yep. Yep, that sushi roll was gross. Yep. Oh, that's her sister. She knows. So there you go. Yeah. So yeah, me and her are in agreement. I was like, yeah. Let me get
I would have tried it if I was there.
We were all doing family style, and she had a roll to herself because I have one. She had a family style all to herself. I was like, yeah, try some of mine. Try some of mine. You know what I mean? Like, it was all good. Yeah. So that was funny. So yeah, it was a good time though. But
I have a unique palate there.
Yeah, for sure. We'll get into the unique palette later on. That's for sure, as we like to do on this show, for sure. But I wanted to ask you, listen, you've had a well-traveled past. Went to college, 7 years in the Navy. Harvard grad, engineer. Just she wanted me to make sure because she likes to be authentic. She didn't work on the decks, even though that was part of the description. I had to get creative guys, so we can't be actually accurate there. But that's why I was Harvard to hoses, So I worked really hard on that description. But well-traveled past sounds like you've been around the world, and then you end up in BioBomb's TikTok live box. So where did it go downhill? No, I'm just joking. So.
That was a good setup, Godfrey.
Yeah, but you've been detailing since 21. You said 2021. So correct me if I'm wrong on this timeline here, and you take over. I'm gonna assume college, then Navy, or Navy, then college, or both.
So no, I was in Harvard already when the Navy happened. So I was supposed to be able to finish college while in the Navy. The problem was I became an engineer in the Navy and college had to stop. So I had to pause Harvard while the Navy was happening. Then I got off the Navy and finished college. That's why I graduated last year from Harvard.
Okay. So last year was your graduation. All right. Very nice.
That's dope. Congratulations.
I'm trying to give you some applause right here, but
oh, geez,
it's just I don't know where they're at, so we'll just go here. And
that's not it.
Yeah, there we go. Congratulations, college graduation. So, but what I find interesting is, someone would hear that background and say, I said to her, it's funny. I said to her, and you're detailing? She's like, you sound like my mother. And I was like, oh, okay. So
Carla, I'm liking you more and more.
Yeah, I was like,
more
all right,
and more.
So I was like, all right, word. I'm like, all right. So, but my thing is tell me how you got into detailing, because I feel like you could have went many different directions and you chose it.
I did choose it. So 2021 was the year I went from. Well, actually, in 2020, I went from Everett, Washington, and came to Jacksonville, Florida. It was a change of station. And I got here and changed cars. So I got a new car, brand new. And I didn't want anybody else putting hands on my car.
I can see that.
And that is the reason why I started doing my own research, trying to see if I could figure out a way to do it myself without putting my car at risk, because I didn't want to also do it sort of DIY it with a YouTube video.
Yeah.
So I did the research as best as I could. I'm a quick learner, and I also have very little patience for group settings and stuff like that. So I knew I wasn't going to put myself through one of those detailed classes or anything like that. And also my brain works in a different way. So I see something, I picked it up, and most of the time I pick it up immediately. And that's basically what happened. I also visited a detailing shop once while in the Navy. And that was because we had to learn how to maintain the engines. And that includes polishing the engines, grinding and sanding, wet sanding, all this, what you will consider DA or rotary work. I learned to do it for the engines in the engineering plant in the Navy. So putting it into a car, it was much easier than actually
Interesting.
than actually put it into the car. So bringing the machine from an engine room in the Navy to a car is a lot easier, despite the difference in the paint. So that's basically how I got into detailing, and not up until I got out of the Navy, I started taking other people's cars.
Do you ever use a polisher now and think to yourself, man, this would have been a lot easier polishing the engine with this polisher versus another polisher? Do you ever have that flashback?
Absolutely.
What would be your ideal polisher you would use now on that engine?
Ugh. So I would say the ShineMate, the little one, the EV210, I think it is, just because it's so portable and small and I can fit everywhere with it. I also was the smallest one in the crew in the Navy in my department, so I could fit everywhere.
They had you everywhere.
Yeah, but the machines would not fit everywhere. So
it was that tight.
It was that tight, yeah.
Okay.
So having that machine be able to fit with me would have been fantastic.
Yeah, I noticed that.
The fact that I didn't have the cord or no need for that cord.
Yeah, I'm sure in a tight spot like that, jammed up between that thing or whatever, and you're running the machine, the cord's getting stuck behind you. And
you need to roll and move, and then you're handling the cord, handling lights and all that.
Yeah.
Were you on
like, doing the, like, so you visited a detail shop when you were in the Navy, you just decided to start doing your own car, and from that you just said, hey, I really like this, I'm just going into detailing full time?
I don't think it was just like, oh, I'm going into detailing. I think it was like more of like a process of I enjoy it while I'm doing it. Most of the time my head is racing, like it's a non-stop race. And when I'm detailing, as soon as I step in the garage, all that racing in my head stays in the house. And I'm just in the garage with my tools and my stuff. So the racing stops. So I think it's like therapy.
Chelsea said that from attention to detail. She said she speaks about that as well. I think Lindsay said the same thing. Lindsay Rose, when she was on the podcast, she's like, sometimes I do interiors, I can just kind of like turn off everything else and just kind of like let it go and just put everything on like autopilot.
That's crazy that you polished that. I'm still wowed by that. I've been on a few battleships, as a tour. I mean, were you on a battleship, an aircraft carrier, or was it a cruiser?
Destroyer.
Was it destroyer? Okay.
Destroyers, I should say.
Gotcha. So they I think the battleship I've been on that where I really got down in this here thing was it was in England. It was the USS Belfast, and it was in London, and that's a tiny ship, and it was gigantic. So I can't even imagine some of these ships today, like the big ones. Like, I mean, I shouldn't say it's a tiny ship compared to like the modern day ships. That's a smaller ship in that fleet, and you look at we got the USS New Jersey over here, and you're just like, wow, those things are like
massive,
moving cities, man.
That's just massive.
Yeah. So, how long were you on any aircraft carriers at one point? Like,
no,
never been on
the GSD.
Okay, so
aircraft carriers have nukes. Every other ship has engineers.
Gotcha. So, how long does it take you to walk from one end of a ship to the other? When it's like, is it like massive? Like, are we talking like a mile, or is it like minutes? Like, is it not that big? So
the destroyer, no. Well, if you're talking about the main deck, it'll take you like 2 minutes.
Okay, so it's not that big.
No.
I just have visions of Top Gun in my head, so everything's ginormous because of the movie. They make everything look big.
But if you're talking about how long is it going to take you to actually move from point A to point B in the ship, if you don't know the ship, it's going to take you the whole day. But
I can see that. Tight quarters too.
Yes.
So you started getting into detailing when you went to the detail shop. Like, when you first made your first purchase for like becoming a detailer, like what was the bill like? I'm curious. Did you like go the ham like it was your first time to Costco? Like when you went to a detailer and you're like, I'm going to start detailing. You're like, I need this. I need this. I need this. I'm always fascinated by that because I always hear people say, you don't need to buy everything when you first start detailing, but some people do.
Okay, so I did it in 2 steps. Okay, I have 2 cars, and I did, okay, so before I put hands on my new car, I'm going to do it on my old one. And so for the old one, I got, the bill was like, say, like maybe $400. And when I realized I could do it, the bill went to like maybe 4,000.
4,000 to 4,000. Oh, damn. Okay.
So you went all in.
Yeah, you went all in.
Yeah, I wasn't going to put a VVOR machine on my Tesla. That was not going to happen. I went for the Rupes. And everything that followed through. And then I got in contact with Bob, and Bob was a huge help. Actually, you know what? I should correct myself. I wouldn't have gone through into full, I'm going into detailing if it wasn't because of Bob.
Okay.
From Chemex.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, yes.
That's awesome.
So he started sending me products to test. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you got stuff, you're like, all right, let's get this stuff done. I got chemicals to try out and whatever. That's cool.
Is there a product you bought that was expensive and you're like, damn, they got me? Is it like
so many?
Is there you're like, damn, they got me, and I wish I never bought that, and it's just collecting dust in the garage because you're hoping you might get used for it?
A product that I bought that was expensive,
and you felt like they got you, like you're like, damn, I thought I was going to use this and I didn't, or I didn't do what I thought.
Underperformed, if at all.
See, but the question is that I bought.
Yeah.
See, I do my research very well before I buy something.
Okay. So you're shielding your satisfaction here. I see what's going on. Okay. So you're like,
if I'm going to buy something, I make sure that Eddie Cologne has reviewed it up and down and has given me the thumbs up before I go ahead and buy it.
Does it suck?
Yeah.
And I look at Pound the Organizer. I have to make sure that and then I have to go into the safety data sheets, and then I have to spend another 3 hours figuring out if I want the product or not.
Don't you ever just want to go for it though? Like, fuck it, let's go.
I did that. I did that this one time last week.
How did it work out?
I've been waiting for this
one time last week
to drop for the longest time with the Young products and the watermelon video. As soon as they were open, I'm like, I don't care. I'm not reading. I'm buying them.
Okay. Did you get it yet or no?
Yeah, I got them.
And?
Well, I just got them.
Okay. All right. My bad.
However, I've seen the video. I actually bought them after I sent the video with Eddie Cologne, Jamie, and the Young Cars guy. I can't remember his name.
Okay.
Yeah. Those I heard it was a hot brand. So.
And there's this one more thing that I bought. that I do regret. I don't know if I should mention names, but especially in this podcast. But I shall say that at the time I didn't know about my options.
Oh, here we go.
Oh boy. I don't even know what's happening right now, I'm afraid, but go ahead.
Yeah. So I did buy a couple of glow bombs.
OMG. I wish my soundboard was working. I'd be lighting this thing up right now.
Access denied. Access denied.
Yeah.
Ozone. Yo, bam Paul right now. All right, so we're not taking shots at anybody, but I do know we're better. I'm just gonna say that.
I'm gonna take this small break right now. I need some nutrition right now. I'm doing something weird. I don't know if you guys ever seen this before, but this is called Basil Seeds.
Ew.
You ever seen these before?
I don't know if you ever seen this before. This is called Cherry Obituary by Liquid of Death.
Nah, so check these out, right? You ever see these before? So
Are you putting that in your water?
Yeah, so basically they're basil seeds, and they'll start to encapsulate with water, and then they'll start dropping down into the jar, and they basically taste like, I don't know if you guys ever had like Orbits back in the day. It was like that drink that had like those little floaty things in them. Here, look, they're gonna start dropping right now. Y'all gonna get all freaked out.
What does it do for you?
So these are twice. All right, so I got the bag here because I didn't want to mess this up because I knew y'all gonna be talking junk. So they give you twice the fiber, twice the potassium, twice the calcium, and twice the iron compared to chia seeds. Chia seeds are basically like the best type of, short-term small seeds you can eat or whatever for those things. So I heard a couple people talking about they're pretty amazing, and I tried them, and they're actually pretty crazy. Look, you can see them now. They're starting to like float. And really
they look great.
That doesn't look very appealing.
Cover them in chocolate and put them on ice cream.
Everyone's like, yo, it looks like spider eggs or something like that, man.
How would you just have some water?
Nah, because I want my stuff juiced up, man. I'm trying to biohack all the time.
So, Carla, so the final verdict was we're going to assume we were better than glow bombs. I've seen the side-by-side comparison in person.
I hope so.
I showed you the comparison,
Yeah, the aerator is better. Everything was better.
Even the packaging.
So I'm buying the flip flip now.
So she knows the deal.
Yeah. So, okay. Glow bombs. Yeah. Boo.
Stop mentioning those people right now.
Access denied.
Sheesh.
Yeah, but listen.
No,
so I like when people compare products because we're about that. So I mean, speaking of comparing products and doing reviews and things of that nature, Carla has also stepped into the world of content creation and editing and things of that nature. And she does some TikTok reviews, things of that. And I wanted to kind of ask her, like, when you do get a product you don't like from TikTok, what do you do? Because I know there's completion rates and they send it to you and that affects what you get or what you make and it's all tied in. So what do you do? Because some people, they're doing the review no matter what. And I'm not saying that they're recommending stuff they shouldn't be. Everybody's got a different style. So what do you do in that situation?
I do have a very different philosophy when it comes to TikTok, and especially with the products. So like I said before, I'm not in detailing because I want to make money. I'm in detailing because I like it, because I enjoy it. And if I am doing something with TikTok, I don't want to cause any harm to anybody, and harm includes economic means. So when I get a product that I do not like, I just happened yesterday, I will contact the person who sent me the product and tell them this product doesn't work. I will make the content, not post it, but I will send that person the content and why it doesn't work. So brand X sends me a product. I will make the video for brand X and send them the video showing them why it doesn't work and why I'm not posting that video on my website or like on my TikTok. And I will do the testing live to satisfy the conditions of the TikTok completion rate.
Okay. So
you're not fulfilling your obligation with them. You know, the ones you make content talking about why it doesn't work.
You could do the Eddie Cologne method and cook them, and then they'll come back a year later with a whole new remodel. Say it was kissed by God. You know what I mean?
They might make a polisher and name it and literally call you out.
But that's worked out for them, though. They're getting a lot of chatter right now. So their revise has worked out.
And the machine's pretty badass, too.
Yeah. So interesting. All right.
It's always nice when people listen.
We had a question right here, and I feel like I can answer this, but I feel like you can answer this better.
No, Godfrey, we're going to do test your knowledge base right now.
Test my knowledge base. Do you really want to do? All right, fine. It's your company. No, let's just so. Yeah, there are differences in the different brands out there for sure. I've had people tell me, I'm not going to talk about the other brands, and no, it wasn't the one we just mentioned, but I'm not going to kind of break it down. But I've had people come to me voluntarily and tell their differences where they've used it and they said yours works better. So there's definitely differences in formula for sure. You know what I mean?
There's a difference in binding agents and the amount of, proprietary, fillers, things like that you put into the tablets. One of the things that we tried to do over the past 7 years is modify the formula so that we got a solid, fast breakdown of the tablet, that it was safe. We've had experiences in the past, even prior to starting BioBombs, where tablets would pop or blow up inside the jar and splatter stuff all over the place. They were unstable. Some of them didn't break down as fast. Other formulations, when you use them, you're not going to get the same type of gas off. In regards to the smell after you get done doing the treatment, some people say that our chlorine smell dissipates faster than some of the other brands out there. So, I mean, there are definitely differences. All in all, CLO2 is, in my opinion, the best deodorizer product available on the market for detailers, home use, anything of that nature. I mean, just being in the game as long as we've been in the game, it's I'm waiting to see something that comes out that does a better job. So
yeah, a big misnomer out there too, I think, is a tablet is a tablet is a tablet, but it's not, because how you store the tablet counts too. If the person you're buying it from isn't properly storing these tablets, then the potency is not going to be as great. It's not going to be as effective. And that's where I've heard stories from other detailers where they're like, hey, I got it from this guy. And I would look at their packaging and I'm like, interesting. You know what I mean? So you can see the I guess, quality differences, even the packaging before you use it, maintaining the potency of the tablet itself is important and underrated. So, if
you got to have a good seal for sure.
Yeah, you got to have a good seal. And the thing is when they cheap out and they don't have a good seal and they think you're just pushing it and they don't understand the technology and they're just putting it in their catalog, that's when you get disappointed in the technology. I
think the big thing for us is education. I mean, we try to get on the phone with everybody, talk to them about the science, kind of explain what makes chlorine dioxide better than other options in the game. And I think the support post-sale, I think, is one of the big things that separates us from anybody else.
Yeah, for sure. So that's cool about the content creation. Now you're an Adobe person. I know you're very meticulous.
I love that. That's old school.
Yeah.
Very fine-tuned.
Yeah, man. She's the first person to ask me to redo the thumbnail today. I was like, wow. It's all right.
I love that. That made
I was like, all right. No diss. That's not a diss on Eddie.
No, it's like you're just meticulous or whatever. It's like, yeah, we're redoing that. Okay.
Yeah. So it's
I'm just gonna redo it and send it to you. Yeah. Like, is this cool? Like, you send the image right back. Like, nah, this is cool.
Yep. All right, let's do it. So we got what are any jobs that you had before detailing? You had your Navy career and all that stuff going on. Like, any other jobs that you did before that?
I was personal injury paralegal for 8 years.
Okay, I could see that. Interesting. I wonder what it'd be like being in a deposition with you.
You don't know.
You're probably just like, guy cracks a joke like, hey, that was a shitty situation. You're like, not funny. Next question, sir. So, yeah, stoic. So,
yeah, not the funny
paralegal. All right, so that's quite interesting. What's the worst case or weirdest case you ever had to sit it on? Weirdest case where you're like, I can't believe this is real life. Like, I have to actually look at this stuff and kind of record this. There has to be something, because
the weirdest, well, it's personal injury, so the fact that you say weird is kind of weird itself. We handled pretty horrible cases. I can't answer for a weird case
I'll give you an example. I had a buddy that I play softball with that does personal injury lawyer, and he works for the assurance company side of it. And he was telling me he was like, yo, man, I'm like, what did you do at work today? And he's like, I just had to review an injury case. Guy spilled coffee on his balls. So he said he had to spend.
I called it.
He told me he had to spend several minutes looking at different angles of this guy's balls, to kind of determine stuff. And I was just like, so you had to sit down and write a report on a guy's ball sack. I was like, who knew going to school to be a lawyer would be so interesting? I was like, you want to switch jobs yet? That's
mostly handled car accidents.
That had to be gruesome. Yeah, car accidents are crazy.
Times were car accidents.
Yeah, there's no humor in that one for sure. Most of the time, I mean, but how do you submit a claim saying I burned my balls and I'm suing you? I don't know if I could do that. I'd be like, just take the L. I don't know. Yeah. Would you do that, Christian, or would you just take the L? Would you sue over that? If you spill coffee?
I'm still shocked over the fact you decided to bring that up as your funny story on the Funkin podcast.
Yeah.
But no, I don't really know
what I would do in that situation. I need the crickets right now.
I tried to hit my button, Carla, and for some reason my soundboard's not working right tonight. I'm always seeming to have issues with it. I thought I fixed and broke the code the other day to get all my sound right or whatever, and it's not working. But I would have hit the crickets 100%. But like I said to you earlier, I get it, Carla. I deal with it too all the time. So you're not by yourself. He has these moments.
Yeah. Well, listen. People like those stories, they know. They'll be thinking about it tonight.
The streets. That's what I ask. What did Godfrey do this week? That's the whole point.
Well, that didn't happen. That week.
Segment.
That was a year ago.
I know, but we need to have you keeping better.
If we were doing that podcast a year ago, you probably would have got that story. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, I had to bring it back in time. That was my boy Zach that moved to North Carolina. So, shout out to him. But yeah, next topic. All right, sure. Thanks, Chris. So you talked about what got you into detailing. So is there a detail product that you haven't used yet besides Yum that you want to use? Because I know you want to use that and you haven't used it.
Well, I would really wanted to use Detail Co. and I will be using them soon. And I'm not sure. I really just wanted to use Yum.
What Detail Co. products are you looking do you want to try the most? All of them, or just do you have one in particular?
All of them.
Are you okay?
She's a buy the whole line type of person, in my opinion. She's a buy the whole line.
I was just gonna ask, but I didn't want to
I am, and I need the whole line type of person. Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, that's why I am fully thinking that Biobums needs to come up with something else. But
here we go.
I'll just keep it to myself.
Everybody's got a scent flavor every week. What's your scent suggestion?
I'm not talking about a flavor.
What's the suggestion?
All right, listen. Let's not go too deep. We're live right now. All right, we got some ideas and some things you want to cook up, Carla. We could talk.
Yeah. You're not talking about a scent?
No, I'm not talking about a scent. No.
Yeah, we should.
I need a spray. Well, I don't know if I need, but we might need a spray.
Well, the spray request is low key been requested a lot. But I've heard of Squash LLC being requested. Some people have talked about Papa Cherry spray, but Fresh AF hits hard. But we have that is a low key request that I do get actually fairly often, believe it or not. Are you going to come up with another spray? And my answer is always no. So I mean, but it could change. It's not up to me. But that's
nothing's set in stone forever.
Yeah, but that is, I do think another scented spray might be hit pretty hard. But get in line, man. Listen, man. We got tons of projects here at Biobums. You have no idea. There's so much stuff coming around the corner. You're gonna be tired of us. You're gonna be tired of seeing there's something new every week. I'm telling you, there's a lot in the work. Christian's been cooking. We've been cooking behind the scenes, so there will be some new stuff that even You don't know. A lot of you don't even know about. We do hide some of the stuff from you. Sometimes we leak it out. You know,
the year's going fast, man. I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of crazy, dude. Like we're halfway through April, more than halfway through April at this point. I mean, it's just crazy how fast it's going. Before you know it, dude, we're gonna be right back in
SEMA.
doing SEMA again.
I can't
Straight
even
up.
about it. Let me just get through the summer. It's not even springtime yet, almost. I mean, I'm looking forward to it, but it just,
bro. If you could tell me from January 1st to right now, and it happened that fast that we did that. I mean, we're however many episodes deep now in the pod. Like the time is just going, dude.
It is. It is
fast.
So I wanted to talk about something real quick because I was talking to Carla the other night, and this is something I hear people talk about, and she has a process, and it was kind of striking how she dealt with it, kind of held her guns, so to speak, or stuck to her guns. You know, some detailers do this, some don't. Use a waiver process before someone brings their car into you. There's a gentleman with a Maserati, and he had a certain situation, and she was like, this dude needs to sign this waiver. So take us through that process, because it sounds like you make everybody do that. And then take us through the process where you're like, you know what? I'm not doing your car if you don't sign it.
Okay, so I don't have, you know how most detailers have like this package, like the basic, the premium package, and I don't have any of that. I have more of like an online shop type of thing. Like I want shampoo, I want this, I want that. And when they're done, they hit submit and it takes them to a waiver. The waiver is going to say, I'm not responsible for anything that happens in the car, for any valuables that you leave in the car when you give me the car. So make sure anything that you value, you take it out of the car.
Right.
The waiver also says everything, the entire detail will be filmed with 4 to 6 cameras. So if you want access to the film, you let me know, just in case you want to make a claim that I did something that I didn't do. Everything is going to be filmed.
So wait, do you film it for content creation, or you film it for content creation and proof
Both.
that and proof?
For both.
That's intense. So
That's smart.
I don't know many people out there that are doing that, but
That's
I mean,
smart. Hats off to you. Oh, that's dope.
Okay.
That's a really smart play.
Also, there is a camera in my garage, and there's a camera outside that captures the driveway. So, and if I'm putting hands on the car, it's recorded. The other thing that I do is I let them know if I'm testing them.
That's the paralegal coming out.
Yes.
You ain't playing around.
When they submit everything, including the waiver, it says they get an email saying, we will confirm with you before your appointment is confirmed.
Okay.
And that's what happened. So I was not getting the waiver. He did everything else, but not the waiver. He didn't sign the waiver. In the waiver, they can also say, yes, you can use the footage for content, or no, you cannot use the footage for content, but you still have to sign the waiver. And I wasn't getting the waiver. This is for like a whole month. And then one day I'm working outside on a different car, and he stops by and he's like, come on, I need to show you something. So I come in and he shows me where I don't know if he told me that someone backed onto him, and there's this dent and the scratches and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, make sure you go through your insurance and all that. But if you want the car detail, you need to sign the waiver. Comes to the day of the detail, and he hasn't signed the waiver. And I'm like, please don't bring the car. Just don't bring the car. He said he was dropping off the car at 6 a.m. And
now, was he avoiding the question every single time, or did you just ask him once or twice? He was
avoiding the question every single time.
Even after he came to see you?
I'm sorry?
Even after he... Really?
So I'm like, just don't bring the car.
I'd be like, yeah, sorry, man. I booked something in your place. I don't got time for these games.
And he just said, okay, I'll reschedule. He avoided the question every time. But when I said, just don't bring the car, he said, okay, I'll reschedule. That was all he said.
Don't reschedule. Sign the waiver. I'm not asking you to reschedule. I'm asking you to sign the waiver.
Yeah. To me, when she told me about it, and I didn't know she was a paralegal before until tonight on the show. Now it makes sense. But when she told me about it, I thought the dude was trying to pull off a hustle with insurance or something like that. That just didn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean? Because, like, why would you get your car detailed? Right? There was a scratch or a dent, and it wasn't repaired yet, right? Like, wouldn't you get it repaired then get it detailed?
Was there paint transfer only, or was it actual like?
No, the paint was scuffed. Like paint.
Yeah, so you would get that fixed first, then detailed. I would think, right? Am I wrong? I mean, I've had cars whacked before, and I got them detailed after they were fixed. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Actually, got in contact with a damn doctor on Instagram that lives in the area, and he's like, "Okay, we'll do the content together." Like a call about pull the dent out, and I'm like, do not get excited. Like, let's wait for this guy to figure out what he's gonna do because
sure.
But
that
yeah,
stinks. That'd be a good play. Double content like that.
Yeah. So the lesson is don't be afraid to put a waiver in there because I've heard horror stories from a lot of detailers where they've had to pay something out of pocket because they got them or their expectations weren't set correctly before the job happened. Oh, my seat broke in my 20-year-old car. I want you to buy me a brand new seat after it has 120,000 miles of your fat ass sitting in it. No, you know what I mean? That's not happening. Here's two, you know what I mean? And on top of that, have business insurance. You know what I'm saying? So
100%.
A lot of people try to skimp on that.
The liability paperwork's smart. I mean, yeah. I mean, especially if you get burned once or whatever and you learn your lesson. I mean, Carla, you never even got burned. You were just like, nah, right out the gate, you're signing paperwork for me.
Yeah.
I don't blame her.
Taken one. I done 3 cars with no waiver. Yes, 3. My mom's, my sister's, and my car.
Yeah. Family and for you. That sounds like the only excuses to do it. I mean, I would argue that you have to get your family to sign liability paperwork if your family's anything like mine, but
so all right. Well, listen, Christian, cue up that music real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, here we go. No, everybody, I did not fix the video yet. I'm sorry. Here we go again.
I'm fast as fuck, boy. Still fast as fuck, boy. Come get some. I don't think you have any idea how fast I really am.
Every week. It's just like, I got on that like 15 minutes before I'm like, I'm not going to have time to do the damn video this week.
Yeah. Until first time I heard it, I was like,
bro, I don't mean it. It's just, it's like, dude, we're in the thick of things right now, and like the last thing on my mind is like, I gotta fix the sensor beeps that I half-assed.
Life imitates art, and sometimes mistakes are the beauty of it, right? So
yeah.
That makes it unique. Otherwise, we'd be like, they're just copying that same one everybody else used. But now that we got our own sensor beep on it, that's a bio bomb's fast ass.
I'll figure it out. I'm gonna do it this week.
So with that being said, we got some questions for you. We'll start you off with rinseless or nah.
There is a place for rinseless. But not detailing.
Well, but if it's not in detailing, where are you using it at? You mean washing cars or something like that?
Like for my mom. My mom doesn't want to wash her car. Go ahead and do a rinseless. For my sister, she doesn't want to do her car. Go ahead and do a rinseless. Let's just say I have a situation where I don't have water or something like that, and or I have a problem with some really bad water. I put a little bit of rinseless in my wash bucket to deal with the hard water problem, stuff like that. But would I do a rinseless detail? No, I like my foam. I enjoy. It's therapy for me. You remember that?
Yeah.
I need my foam.
Rinseless for stainless steel refrigerator. So that means a Cybertruck or a DeLorean would work for that. Okay, cool. That's what they're saying.
Well, everyone, it seems like Aaron showed up in the chat. Hello, Aaron.
Better than never. Yeah. So, all right. So next one. Worst interior or car to detail. So you could pick one or two. It could be an interior or car in general, but I modified that question. Worst one to detail, where you see it and you're like, shit, I don't want this car, but you do it anyway. Or do you have them sign a waiver that's so crushing that they don't ever show up?
Worst car. Minivans.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Mom minivans or no, you know what?
I'll be honest with you. I don't hate minivans as much as other people do.
Really?
I feel like no, because I feel like the seats move in a really decent place.
That's because you can move around your tall ass
it's
body.
It's not that, man. That's what I mean. It's completely different. So you try to do that shit in like a terrain or something like that with a third row, like being 6'4", like it is not a comfortable position at all. But in a minivan, it's like, dude, bust the doors open, pop the rear out, fold the seats all the way down. Like I just feel
all the nicks and crannies and all this holes under the seats and all this stuff that you have to move around.
I mean, if you get a good vacuum, some steam, a tornador, compressor. I mean, now if you're like Chelsea, if you're like Chelsea from Attention to Detail, who does all this stuff without having a compressor, I mean, and yeah, of course, then at that point, I probably wouldn't really care too much to do minivans either. But
who does that with no compressor?
Oh, we're changing that. So Chelsea from Attention to Detail, she's
we got to GoFundMe started or something like that.
No, I mean, I'm always waiting for the email to say that this thing comes back in the mail, and then we're just going to send her out a compressor if she hasn't got one yet. Last I checked, she didn't get it yet. So
yeah,
I have this small, very small compressor, and I start doing something. 10 seconds later, I hear the
yeah.
Oh my god! And then I found this Fantic little blowing thing, and I'm in love with it.
Tornador.
No, the Fantic.
The Fantic one, like the Costco brand or whatever that has like the power screwdrivers and the compressor and all that stuff or whatever. That company, really? Okay.
So
yeah, you have to send me a picture of that one.
Tell the truth in the chat. I don't know. I pretty much know both your answers to this. Have any of you ever been in a car doing a detail and you found a piece of candy in a wrapper or something that was passed the George Costanza test and it was on top of something, but not in garbage, and actually decided to eat it in a moment of weakness? You know,
absolutely not.
I know your answer, but anybody in the chat, I want you to tell. I know there's some of you in this chat in our group.
That was probably the best response we could have ever had to that question.
Yeah, I mean,
she still looks disgusted that you're asking this question, Godfrey.
Well, let's see if anybody answers correctly in the chat.
It's a cricket moment for Carla.
Nope. There's no, bruh. All right, so unless I'm just checking, man, because I see, you know, there's desperate times for desperate measures. I don't detail, so I've never done that, but the face was priceless.
I don't believe you, Godfrey, for a heartbeat.
Why would I do that?
I would bet you that you reached in between your seat and found something that you lost a couple of months prior and decided to get down on it.
See, I have a surprise for you.
The way you said get down on it,
I'm gonna test
like
that.
Just totally Snickers-esque. So you have a surprise for me? All right, yeah. Well, so I mean, she left an apple for me for breakfast. Does that count? I mean, so we got one. So I mean, you know, that counts.
What up, Zach?
I don't even like the dirty. The change is nasty, by the way. The change is nasty. Like, the lock guy I used to work with,
sticky change.
He used to.
His collection's insane, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. First off, he puts it like in water in a jar, and it's like, ew. It's got, like, I feel like if you wanted to poison someone, you could take that water and put it in their drink.
Dude, he finds the wildest stuff inside cars all the time. It's like, you ever see that knife I got in my house, that big ass cleaver?
Yeah.
Big ass cleaver. I got that from him.
I got artwork. I got like
man, check out what I found this week. I'm like, man, you ain't using that. He goes,
I got a fake.
Nah, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty big. I'm like, dude, let me get that, man. Like, I'll chop some stuff up with that at the house. And
the modern day used car lot man. And lot man is the modern day treasure hunter, without a doubt. The stuff that he used to find, dude. I've gotten subwoofers from cars that he found for me. Like, I'm talking like 12-inch Pioneer subwoofers.
Over the years, I found some wild stuff, man. I mean, like, there's, you know, it's always a great day. You're like vacuuming underneath the car, like, you know, it's dealership cars, man. They're traded in. They already got detailed by the detail shop. Most of the guys, not two of the guys I like that detail a good job at dealerships, but all the other guys, it's like they're half-assing doing their job. Like, if I go underneath the car, I was looking underneath something, I see a $20 bill, $50 bill, $100 bill. I'm like, yo, am I getting set up right now? You know what I mean? Like, but like, there's days where you just get lucky, man. And then there's days where you get not lucky and you find condoms and bullets and syringes and all that shit.
I knew I would find someone. He told on himself and try to clean it up. CS Auto Tech you're talking about. I'd probably take a Starburst or Jolly Rancher still on the wrapper. I knew it. And then he says, no, there's a little bit of truth behind every joke. This person says, I found a murder weapon, fake ID, and drugs behind a radio and a 300C. I want to say I'm surprised, but
murder weapon's wild.
I didn't know it's a one murder weapon.
Maybe he called the cops and he found out.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like he actually found out.
I mean, I would have called the popo if I saw that, but I didn't. My fingerprints aren't even on that joint. I'm like out, I'm like,
I'm happy to tell David get on the podcast next week and tell that story for a couple minutes.
Right. So, Crocs or not?
No, thank you. I pass.
Carla, I knew it.
Why don't you like Crocs? Your face of disgust is
tell the
interesting.
caliber of woman this lady is. That's why. You can
why
no
Crocs? I'm just curious.
Are you kidding me?
Thank you. Oh my goodness, the power.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? I mean, I'm not a Crocs person.
Next question.
But what do you mean?
Don't press my friend. Next question.
Crocs.
Don't press my friend. She
already. All right. Well, speaking of pressing. All right.
Did you know that this Crocs were technically supposed to be clown shoes? I'm not joking.
Were they?
Yes, and they became popular in the United States because of ignorance.
Oh yeah. So you say everybody you're clown shoes?
I told you to kill it. You ain't want to listen. I said drop it. Now look, she's over here cooking. I wish I had some.
Let's leave it there.
Sometimes clowns can be
comfortable. I
comfortable.
had a frying pan with some sizzling noises over there.
Iced out.
Carla, do your thing. Iced out.
We all just said clowns. All right. So, your favorite bar scent. Speaking of pressing.
Iced out.
Iced out.
Yeah. So I'm gonna a little story time right here. Iced out one, and let me tell you something. This little politicker right here, she got her mom to vote. She got.
Oh, is this?
Yo, this is the culprit.
Okay. Okay.
She got her girl. Yo, she got everybody in the family. I was like, yo.
How does number get so high real fast?
Yo, people were they're like, yo. I want to recount. Iced out. This is BS. Like I was getting text messages about Iced out winning. Like, I snuck Sugar Plum Daddy in there. By the way, all the Sugar Plum guys that talk all that smack, you didn't show up for it. I gave you opportunity on TikTok. I slid it in the final four for you guys, and the company didn't even know. And you dropped the ball. Anyway,
he's still so mad about that.
Yeah, like, I want Sugar Plum, not a damn vote from you guys. And and Iced Out came out of there like just straight up.
I don't want to hear it no more. Don't tell me you want Sugar Plum Daddy back. I don't believe none of you guys. You didn't show up.
Iced Out came out of a 1996 Mazda 626 and took victory. Just walked out with
shout out to the 626 with the vent button. You used to hit it, and the vents used to move back and forth.
Yeah, that was the millennial version.
Nah,
right?
626 had that, bro.
Okay.
I had
a 626. It was 4 different colors, and it had no vent button. I had the base model and rust brown hood.
That vent button was crazy, bro.
This thing is melting already.
Yeah, so that's all right. So go to your go-to playlist when you're in the trenches. It sounds like you are just listening to silence and the sounds, but maybe you have a go-to playlist.
It's the voice in your head, isn't it?
Yeah. I do not. Music distorts my silence.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a picture of her studio and I accused her of being Jason Bourne.
I'm so intrigued by Carla.
Yeah, I accused her of being Jason Bourne. Sure, studio's like pure white, like the Blackwater room where they called him. Yeah, and I was like, oh, are you interrogating people on here? Like, I just see nothing but white. Like, and there's like lights. I'm like, okay. Favorite cartoon as a kid? This might be a wild answer. So, did you not watch cartoons?
I'm pretty sure I did. Favorite cartoon as a kid? Mariana, can you help me?
Can you
call the sister out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking.
All right, we'll come back to that. Favorite car? Can't be Nissan Murano.
Bugatti.
Okay. Peeps, yes or no?
No.
Ketchup on eggs?
Yes.
She doesn't have a boring palate. What can I say? Favorite type of pizza?
Why are you doing this?
Well, they don't know. The public doesn't notice. They're here for this. Come on now.
This is a personal one.
Listen, there's a lot of weird people in our chat, so you'll be supported and booed at the same time. Don't worry about it.
I'm not a fan of pizza, but I do like Hawaiian pizza.
Pineapple on pizza. The controversial.
I love pineapple on pizza. Especially if the pineapple and the ham is grilled just right. For me,
It has to be just.
So now you got ham on there too. Okay.
Oh,
it has to be ham and pineapple.
absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Pineapple on pizza, people. So all right, okay. That's I listen. It's not anchovies. So ranch. Do you use it, and on what if you do?
I do sometimes. Not a huge fan. Maybe on Caesar salad.
Okay, Caesar. All right. So, do you have a favorite food besides banana
Sushi.
and sushi? Is it sushi?
I have a favorite food. Yes.
It is.
I don't know the name. It's the meat with veggies. Meat and veggies.
Meat and veggies.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of meat? Beef.
Beef.
Yeah, your Carla's the bomb.
So you're a broccoli and steak type of person? Is that what you're saying?
Not broccoli. It has to be the one that grandma makes.
Is it like a medley?
It's like it has a name. I forgot the name. Valeria, can you help me?
Your sister bailed on you already. She's watching the last episode of Lost of Us. She's already bailed on the podcast in general. She's
oh Jesus. Goulash.
Goulash.
Oh,
Okay.
goulash.
Both of them answered.
Okay. So, it's that time for the show that we've all been waiting for.
Goulash.
That was the girl. Snickers, vein up, or vein down. So it's vein up. Okay.
So it's like a normal person, right? Like how people normally eat Snickers.
Well, I mean, some people go sideways. That's what they do in a commercial.
Nobody does that.
In the commercials, I've seen them go sideways.
Find it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Vein
Save
to
it for
the
next
side.
week. Save it for next week. We're at 1 hour and 7 minutes right now. Let's
Right,
keep it.
yeah.
I don't need to get you going on a whole thing about Snickers. We'll save it till the next 10
I
minutes.
have the footage. I have the footage. I mean, listen. Snickers is its own thing, and the Snickers Army is always here for it. And vein up is normal, but I'm not going to judge anybody if they're vein down from the back. So, that's all I'm saying. There are some people that are like that. So, but
it gets weirder every week.
The last question that we always ask everybody is loyalty or respect.
How are you going to have loyalty without respect? And how are you going to have respect without loyalty?
I mean, you can only pick one, though.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to. We never had anybody throw both of them out there at us.
You got to come on now.
Respect.
Listen, you respect. Okay. So rather be, all right. You want someone to respect you before they're loyal. Okay.
If you're respectful, you're going to be loyal.
Okay. So you're going to assume that loyalness is there. There's a guy named Judas Iscariot that, that they thought that about too. And then he showed his true colors, just saying Easter being,
I was going to say, Godfrey busted out a little.
Someone wrote in the book.
Yeah. So listen, I'm just saying, I've seen some loyalty and respect not coexist before. So
morals nowadays.
I think I'm going to go with loyalty.
They're a little different than they used to be. That's for sure.
For sure. But yeah, that's it. I don't know. We got any closing words for anybody? Anything to add to the end? Thank you for showing up here, Carla, and doing the show.
Carla, you got a channel you want to share with us, everybody? They can check you out and follow you.
Spotless by KGM in every social media. It's always the same.
YouTube, everything. Spotless by KGM.
YouTube,
okay.
Instagram and TikTok.
Cool.
Starting a new YouTube channel called Veins Up Shorts. We're gonna get hit by Snickers for a sponsor opportunity one day. I'm telling you right now. Christian's gonna be like, I love it.
No way are you getting me to do that.
If they walk through the door and they said, we'll give you 50 G's, we want to do a sponsorship, you're gonna turn that down. Come on,
no,
man.
You guys can do what you're doing, and I'll continue to be the person that's like, yo, stop talking about it. Just eat it a normal way.
And then I'll be in the background
what is the normal way?
with the Mentos commercial.
Open the package, just eat the damn thing. That's all. It's just a damn Snickers bar. It doesn't have to turn into a weird thing, you know?
They're gonna hit you with that cease and desist. They might. I buy a Snickers Biobomb. That's what I'm talking about right there. You know, there is a rumor out on the street. There's a rumor out on the street that there is a Snickers inspired army logo being created in the back rooms. And don't worry, Chris, it doesn't involve Pedro, but you know, there's other assets that can be used.
Oh, jeez.
I can't wait. I feel like when that does debut, I need it to be a surprise for Woodland. Like I need it to just be like
nothing surprises me anymore, bro. I've known you for way too long, bro. There's nothing you do that surprises me.
It's just got to be, the time has got to be perfect. So I feel it. And maybe we can do it like, maybe we can like get someone to dress up like a Snickers Biobomb guy and like see him and just like run by or something.
Send a singing telegram to my door during the podcast. That's a Snickers bar.
Yep.
You know?
But anyway, great show. Thanks for showing up, everyone, as usual. Listen, if you want to buy some Detail Co. and use it here like Carla, Funkin 10. Am I getting that right? It's up here. Promo, Funkin 10, the House of Rags. You know, you could also hit us up, you know, whatever you want to do. But that is where you're going to get that yum that people are about. Is it yum or is it yum?
It's just yum.
You can call it yum if you want. I need to get my hands on some of that interior cleaner because I heard it's pretty good.
Well, we have a donut bakery around here that's pretty good. That's called Yum.
Smash it. I'm probably smash the Bible in there.
Yeah, I didn't know where that one was going. I was like, all right, okay. I was watching that video. But the Yum, there's a Yum donut brand around here that Chris knows about. So when I hear Yum, it makes me think of that. So I instinctually say it twice because first of all, these donuts are amazing.
They're very good.
Yeah.
They're very good donuts.
You're like,
that's coming from somebody that don't eat that shit. They're very good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only thing I miss about the dealership is the one manager used to bring in Yum donuts every Saturday morning. I was like,
dude, it's wild. I go into some of these dealerships, bro, and the amount of stuff they have on the counter, like every day, I'm like, yo, y'all are like walking diabetes in this joint every single day.
Have you ever seen the car business? Like, you could be like,
I've never seen a bowl of fruit out or someone bring in like a fruit.
No, man, maybe like a bowl of Pall Malls or something. Like,
that's what I'm saying. It's like Newports for everybody. You know what I mean?
You walk into there, dude.
It's wild.
You walk in there and be like, yo, my name's Tom. I've been car sales is great. I've been at it for 5 years, and dude looks like he's 45. And be like, yeah, I'm 28.
I know. Shit,
anyway,
fast, bro. That's why this whole thing turned gray on me.
I don't.
Nah, I was just working with you, Godfrey. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
you're responsible for half this shit.
Yep, I saw Chris. My last sale was to Chris. I sold him his Challenger. So,
yep. Went out with a bang.
There you go. But listen,
guys, got that shit. Didn't crash it yet.
Hey. Listen, thank you for listening. Chris, you got anything to say?
Carla, thank you very much for coming on, spending some time with us. I know it's not your traditional podcast or group of people, but you have a tendency to hang out with Godfrey on a regular basis with TikTok and stuff. So I appreciate you for that as well.
Don't just let this one fool you. She's back in the corner hanging out, not saying anything, but she's part of the fray. She's just, she's supporting by being present. Trust that.
That's all right. Yeah. I respect you for the time you put into the relationship you have with Godfrey. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for having me.
Like Absolutely. It's a charity or something. Like she's doing like
no. I don't mean
big
like
brother,
that.
little sister work. Thanks for teaching Godfrey how to write. That's exactly.
I've noticed the difference in Godfrey's grammar when he's responding to chat inboxes. Thank you for that, Carla, if that's from you.
It's called ChatGPT and Grammarly. They hit me with a year special every time I get it. But yeah. Anyway, good fun podcast as usual. You guys know where to get at us. If you got some questions about products, the Godfrey on all the social handles, and then obviously Biobombs. You can catch Christian on the Biobombs Instagram. You can catch me on the Biobombs TikTok. Either way, it's easy to get a hold of us.
Hit that like button. Make sure you go follow Carla for us. Obviously, if you guys got any questions for us, shoot over a DM. She's more than happy to chat with everybody. She's a sweetheart. So we appreciate you guys. Everybody stay fresh till next week. Peace.
Woo!